Hello, I'm Jody Jacks from Jacks Art Studio and the art teacher at Capital Day. And today I'm going to teach you how to weave on a loom. So my fifth graders here at Capital Day have gotten a loom. If you don't have one, I'll tell you how to make one in just a second. But first of all, I want to tell you the reason that we're doing this project is to learn about weaving, but not just to learn about weaving, but to actually weave something. So I'm going to teach you how to weave, but you can actually make lots of different things from these projects. So for today, you will need some yarn, and I have lots of different colors over here. A weaving needle is ideal, but you may not have one of those. I'm also giving you a weaving, if you have a kit of mine, you have a loom in there. Or you can make one of these by taking a piece of cardboard, any shape you want, and you just cut little slits up at the top so that your yarn will fit through there. So, just a few terms. When we are talking about a loom, this is your loom. The warp is the pieces that go up and down. The weft are the pieces that you're going to be weaving at the side. So warp, weft, and loom. I would really like you guys to go and research some weaving. The weaving I'd like you to look at is Native American weaving and weaving kente cloths in Africa. Those are the two kinds that we usually look at in the classroom. We just look at different examples of those. I will be making a blog and I will include those on my blog. So this is a weaving that was actually made, and I'm going to show you one part up here that it's actually wrong up at the top. It should be going under, over, under, over. So let me go ahead and let's first put the warp on this. The first thing I want you to do is make sure you don't make a mess of your yarn. So if it's not already rolled up like this, be careful when you're unrolling this because you don't want a whole mess of yarn that your parents should make you go back and roll up into balls like this if you make it a mess. So take your yarn and you're simply just gonna not make a knot, but you're gonna put this loop through here to make a little loop. And this loop is going to attach onto one of these. I would not do the very last one. I would try to start on maybe the second one over. And we do need to make sure that we have even numbers of weft going around the side. So I'm gonna start wrapping this around. I wanna make sure that they are different, that they're not right next to each other. And I'm gonna put this in fast motion, I'm just gonna wrap around. So as I'm coming to finish this up, I do want to say that you do want these to be pretty tight. You don't want them to be really loose. Otherwise, when you weave, it's gonna be more difficult for you. When you get done with this last one, before you cut it off, let's make sure we have an even number on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm gonna take that one off because I want even numbers on both sides. All right, let's count this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, so I'm just taking this one off. I'm going to cut with lots of extra to spare because I'm actually just going to tie this one on here. So now I have 20 on both sides. They are tied off and we are going to begin weaving. This will be a two-part series. The first one I'm going to show you how to weave, and the second one I will come back, and when we're done weaving I will show you how to finish it off and talk to you about the different kinds of projects that you could make out of your piece of cloth that you will be weaving today. So I have a different color just because I want you to be able to see what you're weaving. And you can just start weaving with your fingers, but a lot of my kids find it a lot easier if we will thread this needle and tie it on here and weave with the needle. Now obviously if we wove through here and just left this at the end, it's not going to work very well. So you are going to have to get a couple of sections of this yarn and cut it off. So I'm going to do 2 arm lengths of yarn, and then I'm going to cut this off. Now sometimes people tell you just to not to tie this on, but since we're new, I'm actually going to have you guys tie this on this first one, and we're going to tie it twice. We're going to go once, twice to tie that on, just so it's on there. And then we're going to start weaving. You have to be careful that your yarn doesn't get too tangled, so you want to kind of keep it out. So we're going to call this one an over, and your mantra for weaving is over, under, over, under, over, under. We are actually going to just be weaving this front side. So over, under, over, under, over, under. I'm going to pull that through. Okay. Over, that one's over. Oh no, excuse me, that's under. So this one's over, under. I'm going to move down a little bit too because I feel like it's a lot easier to weave towards the middle, and then I'll be pushing my pieces up. So here is your first one. Now you may have someone come and check this for you just to make sure that it's right. And here's the deal with the next stitch. The next one is going to go over this one. Excuse me. So that's under, so this one needs to go over. And then I'm starting my over, under again. And you're gonna see right here where this is going to hold on to this. Now here's something you've got to know. I don't want these big tails hanging out at the end, but I don't want you pulling this so hard that you pull one next to it. That's too tight. You've got to keep it loose enough that you have just a little bit of string. Your warp should not be warped, okay? It should not be pushing over towards another one. You just go over, then you will take your fingers and push up a little. And we're going to continue these. Okay, I'm going to move this on fast motion for a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you guys. Okay, this is what I'm talking about right here. I have got myself knotted up and I don't know how I did it, so I'm going to have to patiently sit here and unknot this so that it will go through. Okay, so I'm 3 or 4 into this. Let's say you look at this and you realize it doesn't look right. Like maybe yours looks like this, where you have actually woven incorrectly. When you pull this off of here, this is not going to hold. So what you can do is you can actually just go back and unweave something that doesn't look right. Okay, so I can actually go back and unweave to where I messed up and then fix it. You will not be perfect at this. So you are just gonna have to work with your mistakes. Sometimes if it's a mistake, you may just have to leave it and just keep weaving. For your first weaving, I'm wanting you just to finish a sheet. It may have some imperfections, it may have some things that don't work, but we're gonna finish it and tie it off. And then in a third video, I will actually show you a bunch of different ideas that you can do with your weaving. So this would be outside of class time. It would just be extra things that you could work on because you enjoyed working on it. But I've had lots of students in the past who've learned how to do weaving and then they take ideas from it. My tutorials are not meant to just show you a project. My tutorials are meant to show you skills and then you take those skills and you go work on your own projects. So I'm trying to build independence with my students. I'm trying to teach them skills and then know that they can use these skills to build other things from. So I will see you in a second and probably a third video for weaving, but this would be great for this week for CDS, or for those else of you who are starting, this is a good starting point, and then you can go back and watch the second and third one later. So be nice to your parents and create.